Welcome back, everybody. This is Red Halo here. We're playing more One Piece Treasure Cruise, and this is the day after, basically. In my previous video, I stated that we're going to go over the structure of the SUGOFEST, all that stuff that was involved with that. But now we actually have the data download in-game for the SUGOFEST. We have all the information there, and we're going to go over that. We're not going to go over the steps and stuff like that in detail because we already did that in my previous video. Link in the description for that if you want to check that out. But we're going to go over basically all the other legends that will be on all the steps, as well as some other extra stuff that we didn't know originally in this video. So let's get started right into here. Obviously, first thing there, 15% chance for a legend. That's a 3 times boost basically, so that's what we expected being a super SUGOFEST. But there's a lot of extra stuff here. I have gone over this stuff already, so I kind of have a good idea what it is, because there's a lot here, and there's a lot more than we didn't know. So it's actually a better SUGOFEST than we thought, not in terms of steps, but in terms of what's on the SUGOFEST, and you'll see here in a second. So let's go into it real quick. 50% chance for a legend, love that. There are 5 parts, and we already knew that from the previous video when we went over the structure. But what we didn't know is that certain, if you read it right here, certain Treasure SUGOFEST only characters are back. Yes, there are treasure map legends on this banner. What? That kind of just comes out of nowhere. So that's very, very interesting. If you're missing certain treasure map legends, or you just want, it's just, I think it's better that they put these in here. They didn't restrict the legends on all the other parts. It's only on part 1 and part 5 actually that have the treasure map legends on it, and we'll go through it here. But that's certainly something that kind of jumped out that I was very confused about when I first went over this. But yes, there's going to be treasure map legends and treasure map rare recruits on this banner. So that's super interesting. Obviously, these characters are going to be voiced, which are fantastic, including the Hancock, Nami, and Robin characters. So that's going to be awesome. We do know that the Hancock, Nami, and Robin character will be available on other SUGOFEST going forward. They're not a super SUGOFEST unit. They're also not a double character, which we knew about, just in case we weren't aware of that. Part 1's going to have all 3 of the new legends, as well as the new waifu unit on them. So that's going to be really nice. And we know about this with the tandem stuff, yes. So part 1. In this SUGOFEST, part 1 includes all SUGOFEST exclusive characters from standard SUGOFEST and super SUGOFEST only characters. Out of them, 20 selected characters are rate boosted. So there's going to be every legend in the game, minus Kazuna legends and Rumble legends. But all the treasure map legends are in here, as well as all standard banner legends. I highly doubt, I haven't seen this, but because we don't know specifically every single legend, if they're including the new Marco and Big Mom on here. It does say all SUGOFEST exclusive characters, so it's possible, but we do not know about them specifically. If I were to take a guess, I'm going to say they're not going to be here. But it does say all, so maybe they will be. We don't know that. But anyways, so there's going to be 20 selected rate boosted legends out of that all legends. And you'll see as we go on specifically which ones those are. As I said earlier, part 1 and part 5 have treasure map legends and normal rare recruits, treasure map rare recruits in them. Not all the treasure map rare recruits, but all of the treasure map legends are available. So that's going to be very, very cool. Part 2, 3, 4, and 5 have different super SUGOFEST characters pertaining to each part. We know about this already. Roger Newgate, Yamato, Luffy and the Straw Hats and Law, Quick Luffy and Kid, and then Roger and Odin on part 5. We already knew about this. But this is where we get into specifically where it shows the legends right here, right? So we already know about the new characters, all that stuff, and everything like that. But what we didn't know was what there are boost effects in the Blitz battle we're going to be in. It says it right here. This is new information. 2 times points for all 4 of the new legends. That's going to be nice. And then the rare recruits also give you 1.25 and their special charge time by 10. You also get special charge time reduction by 15 at the start of quest with the legends. So that's very nice. Only the post-evolved forms will be trusty characters from the treasure map. That's important. So very, very important to know about that. Part 1, we know about the dates already. They're going to be 1 day apart, 24 hours each. And these are all the steps. We already went over those. So this is actually my banner that I made myself, my infographic. It took me a little while. I'm pretty happy with it, but anyway, it has everything on it. I posted this on the One Piece Treasure Cruise Reddit as well as the One Piece Treasure Cruise Discord. So if you want to look over it, you're more than welcome to do so. That's why I made it. But it has everything you need to know about it on it. What we'll go over each step, each part specifically on its own. So as for part 1 here, part 1 has the 3 legends on it, the 3 new legends, as well as the new Nami, Robin, and Boa Hancock legend right here. These 3 are part of the rate boosted legends, so that's something that's important to know about because there are steps that have rate boosts on them. Right here, 6, 10, 15, 25 are rate boosted SUGOFEST exclusives, which, as we can see here, are the right here, as well as the 3 for the new legends. So these are all the Super SUGOFEST only units. They are on this banner as well. They are not rate boosted though. The only rate boosted units are these right here and the new ones. So you can definitely pull them, but they're not going to be as high as rate as the other ones. And they won't be on the specific steps as we know about. All the treasure map legends, like I said earlier, are available as well. They're not part of the rate boosted legends though, so that's something that's important to state as well. And as I said earlier, all legends are on part 1, all standard legends, including the treasure map legends and the Super SUGOFEST legends. So that's going to be very different. I wonder what the rates are going to look like because we don't know specifically what character rates are. We only know that the legend rate is 15%. As we can see here, 5th is going to be a new character. That's going to be basically any of the 3 new legends, actually 4 new legends, sorry, and the rare recruits. Those will be counted as a new character. I highly doubt it's going to be anything else added to that. Rate boosted legends, we saw that. 8th and 18th are going to be all 50% chance for a red. We know about that. And the 20th multi is going to be important because it's any of these characters right here. And the 30th is going to be a new one, which is the 3 right here. Now, looking over specifically the legends on part 1 right now. As you know, we have all the Super SUGOFEST legends, but what we want to really look at are the rate boosted legends here. Right? So you have Garp, B1 Big Mom, B2 Mihawk, Sabo Koala, Komurasaki, Germa 66, Moria, Viper vs. Shanks, Vivi, V3 Lucci, Ulti Page 1, V4 Katakuri, Robin Jimbei, Dogstorm V2, V2 Odin, the new V2 Frankie, and the new Waifu unit. There's some really good characters on this rate boosted step. Personally, I am still missing this Robin Jimbei and the Frankie, and obviously the new unit. But really, like, these first 5 right here are not really used anymore. Garp and Big Mom could see a level limit break in the near future that could definitely make them better, but I still think that's going to be a ways off because we have a lot more on the list that are older than these. So there's some good ones here. Moria's still really good, Germa's fantastic, Viper vs. Shanks, Vivi, all these characters up here I think are really good. Maybe not Katakuri and Robin Jimbei, but everybody else pretty good, about half the size of that rate boost list. And remember, you got the 3 new ones are also included in the list, so you can definitely get those on here as well. It's a decent list. Doesn't have anything that's popping out to me other than maybe Ulti Page 1. because they have that really good switch and that special that helped you with Kazuna like big time. BV, obviously, Lucci are very good. Moria's still super good. White River Shanks, if you don't have them already, they're fantastic. And the new V2 Odin and Frankie, they're very good. But overall, you know, the main part that you're going to pull on part 1 for is the fact that it has all 3 of the new legends on it, all of the super SUGOFEST units, and the treasure map units are on it. Those are going to be the main like driving points for pulling on part 1, because like I said, all legends are available. It's really all about looking for those specific steps here that are going to help you, because this is just rate boosted characters. All these steps, rate boosted characters. And rate boosted characters includes all of these, the 3 up here, and all of the rare recruits, including the new rare recruits. There's going to be a ton of other new rare recruits that are going to be on here as well. I think they actually show specifically the rare recruits that are rate boosted in the game here. Yeah, here it is. Let me go back right real quick and show you guys this. So in the game, I didn't have space on my infographic to put this. There's so much stuff. But these are, for all parts, the rare recruits that are boosted. So specifically these, and these are the treasure map rare recruits that are going to be on the banner. So it actually does include all the legend specific banner rare recruits. So when a legend on NTM gets introduced, these are the rare recruits that came with them. So it doesn't include just other rare recruits that are from treasure map, but only the legend specific ones that are always on the treasure map banners now. So that's something that's important to state out. But these characters that are rate boosted here, as well as the characters that are on this list and these 3, those are going to be part of all of those steps that we have down here. So first and the 29th, all these steps give you a chance to pull any of those characters, right? We get a SUGOFEST exclusive there. We know about all those. And so yeah, that's going to be part 1. Let's go over part 2 real quick here. So part 2 has Luffy on it, as well as Roger and Whitebeard and V1 Yamato. But it also has all of these are all of the legends that are on it. So there's a total of 30 legends that are on each part. So as for just all the legends that are on part 2, you've got Brook, very good. Kinemon Dendro, very, very good. Nami, Usopp's kind of Robin Jinbei's on this part. Ulti Page 1, V2 Marco, V3 Blackbeard, V2, no, this is V3, sorry, V3 Zoro. Kaido Big Mom, Germa, Wano Lost, still very good. Strength Super Type, Sabo, Hawkins, Pudding, Komurasaki, Stampede Luffy, V Rebecca, V2 Mihawk, Bardo Cavendish, Carrot, who I still love, my favorite legend in the game, V1 Capone, V1 Big Mom, V1 Nami, V1 Robin, this is V2 Dofi, and V1 Crocodile. So some really old characters on here, but you got some really good ones on here too. I still think Carrot Super Evolution is like super, super good. It's one of the best Super Evolutions we've gotten. So I super love that character. Doflamingo V2's Super Evolution came out recently. Not bad at all. Vivi Rebecca still being a very good legend. Even today I use them pretty regularly still, for being as old as they are. Pudding does what she does. Good unit here. Wano Law is probably one of the top ones here. In my opinion, still a super good unit. Germa's still super good. Kaido Big Mom's fallen off a bit, but they're still super good as well. I was just using this Zoro the other day. A very good dex lead, as well as being a slasher. Very useful for the Grand Voyage Morgan fight. This Zoro, so that's one to look out for. VV being good. Ulti Page 1, as I said earlier, very good for Kazuna. Kinemon Dendro, still don't have Kinemon Dendro or Brook. So that's 3 legends on this part, not including the new Luffy I don't have. This is kind of good for me. And Brook is kind of he's good, but he's not like I think Kinemon Dendro is better than Brook is. I don't have Brook, so that's something. Limited pull legends. include these right here. So there's 15 of them, which is half of the total amount of legends. You have a very good set here. It basically takes off all the ones you don't really want, minus, you know, a few. But starting at Wano Law here, there's not a ton of them that are like bad. You could say, you know, this Blackbeard's kind of eh. Now, honestly, he's not good. Only really good in very niche circumstances. This Marco's kind of alright. Robin Jinbei the same. Nami Usopp kind of the same. But everybody else is pretty good. And then a super limited pull are just these. I'm not a fan of the fact that Marco's here. Everybody else on this is very good. The fact that you have Marco on here kind of eh. I think I'd much rather have Wano Law or Derma or, you know, like Kaido Big Mom on this, or even Zoro, I think, better than this Marco. But that is what it is. It is a good super limited pull for sure, though. You got these three right here, these super legends are all super top tier. You know, Roger and Newgate are going to be top tier, top 5 for a very, very long time. If you don't have them, they are someone to look at even probably more than some of the new legends. They are that good. Their switchability is the best. It's the best. So, in my personal opinion, I think it is the best. And so, you don't have them, really seriously think about part 1 because, I mean, well, not part 1, part 2, because they are, ooh. Same with V1 Yamato, still super good, but Roger and Newgate, wow. They're fantastic. And the super limited pull, in case you didn't know, is on the 8th and the 20th, and the limited pull is the 5th and the 10th. So something to think about. And obviously 30th multi, you get the new Luffy. We already know about that. Part 3 here has Ace and Yamato. It also has the V2 Straw Hat super exclusive. Now, I said that Roger and Newgate were super good. If you don't have the V2 Straw Hat Super Legend, you're going to want to pull on this part. Now, they are pullable on part 1 as well, but they're not rate boosted. And all legends are on part 1. So, part 2, having the Straw Hat unit, is like almost a must summon if you don't have them, in my personal opinion. I have them, and even at Final Tap level 1, and their Final Tap is the best in the entire game. It's literally broken. It's super good. Like, even if you have the Straw Hats, right, but your Final Tap hasn't leveled up much, it's almost hard to not pull on that part. Specifically, only because they are on it. That's how good they are. Because of their Final Tap being so unbelievably strong, like, you have to go for them, pretty much. Especially if you don't have them. And I'd say, like, you have a much higher chance of pulling them on this part, part 3, than part 1. So if you're going for specifically the Straw Hats right here, don't pull on part 1. Wait till part 3. But you also have the super exclusive Law, who I still think is very good. His Final Tap's very good as well. You've got the new V2 Frankie. You got Inuarashi. Cat Viper here. You got that V4 Katakuri. You got that Halloween Boa, who is honestly growing in popularity and usefulness as it goes on. I think she is much better than I think we all thought she was going to be when she came out. V3 Lucci's on here. Fantastic. Reiju's kind of very niche. Whitebeard Shanks, again, super good. You should definitely look to get that if you don't have them. Moria, V2 Kaido's here. Halloween Mihawk. Summertime V3 Boa. Smoker, V2 Blackbeard. V3 Rayleigh, which is actually like getting better as well as time goes on. The Nami Robin dual unit. Luffy Zoro Bullets on here. That's a V1 Shirahoshi Manshari, V2 Zoro, Cracker, V2 Sabo, who has a very good super evolution, V1 Brook, that's Zephyr, who, man, those movie legends really need to get super evolutions. I don't know what's taking them so long. That original Gear 4 Luffy, like the quick one right there. V2 Shanks, who should, if trending happens, be not the current super evolution we're going to get, which is going to be V2 Akainu, he should be the next one. If they go with kind of the way that they did it with the release of those units, I really want to see a super evolution from that Shanks. So that's going to be something to look forward to. Judge and Corazon, who's still very good. The limited pool legends are the new character. Hey, we've got the Straw Hats here. Basically, all the really good ones, minus a few. Obviously, Smoker, he really needs a super evolution. Reiju, and Katakuri, kind of. But Katakuri is still kind of like on the edge. Along with all these other characters are great. Great characters, great selection, honestly. If I'm looking at the difference between parts 2 and part 3, or just the limited pool, I'd say part 3 has it. Because you've got a lot of really good units on here, and a lot less of the bad units that aren't as good, and you got some really top tier legends here, specifically the super legends. The Frankie is very good as well because he has utility in his captain ability that is super strong. That Boa being very, very good in almost everything. Viper vs Shanks, super flippin' strong. Moria's really strong. V2 Kaido's still very, very good. Like, these right here are all still very good units for being, like, older. I think part 3 has better limited pool legends, but if you're looking at the overall parts 2 and part 3, not too different in the legends aspect. The super legends are really where you're looking, right? And then the super limited pool is everything's great except for Reiju. Like, again, like with what they did with part 2, could have thrown Kaido or Moria in here in place. Even the Hancock, I think, in place, or this other, the quick Hancock in here in place of Reiju would be better. Having Reiju in as bad as having this Marco. I think Marco's better than that Reiju. Anyway, we're gonna go to part 4 next. Man, we got so much to go over. There's so many parts. This is the Kaido part. It's got Kid and Luffy, the super exclusive ones. I think just in terms of super SUGOFEST exclusive, this is the weakest part. I think even part 5 is better than this part. Now, part 5 doesn't have any of the really good new legends, but it does have Roger and Odin. We'll get to part 5, but I personally think that part 4 has the weakest super exclusives on them. You don't really need this quick Luffy for anything. This strength Kid, on the other hand, is pretty much great in everything. He's very good in Rumble, but he is good in other content as well, but really good in Rumble. And this Kaido, who is, again, incredibly powerful, but when you look at the 3 of them together, it's definitely the weakest in my opinion. All the other legends include this Blackbeard, that's V1 Blackbeard, V2 Rayleigh, Luffy, Ace. Man, I really hope they do super evolutions for dual units eventually. There's a V2 Jinbei, V2 Sanji here, Whitebeard Marco, V2 Katakuri, Sanji Judge, V2 Big Mom, Inuarashi Cat Viper dual unit, this Halloween Ace, who could really get a good super evolution in the future. This is V2 Nami, Onami, this Solo Mask, Shanks crew still being very good. Like, honestly, with their utility and their captain ability, just getting rid of 10 terms of special bind, and their swap effect being good, they're overall just still good. They've definitely dropped off a bit, but still very strong if you don't have them. Looking to pick them up for sure. This V3 Katakuri, Dex Kid, who could get a very good super evolution. Honestly, he's starting to get to the point where he's going to need one. So, you got the Sweet Commanders here. V4 Halloween Lost, still very good. V2 Viva Rebecca. That quick Magellan. King and Quid on this part, still very good as well. You got the Straw Hat unit here. You also got, this is V1 Straw Hats, by the way. That Perona, Doflamingo, that's that really good superclass Doflamingo. Dogstorm and the new V Odin. Not super new, but new enough. Just looking at this part specifically, I think that this is the weakest part. out of all of them, to be honest. Yeah, if I'm looking at just all the legends that are on here, if I'm looking at like top tier legends, Odin, that Dogstorm's really good, that Doflamingo's really good. Verona's fantastic. The Straw Hats, King and Queen, are really good. But then you start really hitting some not as good ones, like Magellan, V2, Vivi Rebecca. That Howling Law is still really good. Three Commanders are pretty good, not as good as some others. Jenks Crew, like I said, Solo Mask I still think sees play, it's pretty good. Onami's pretty good for conditional. That Ace is kind of used. They have a really good support, but then everything after that is kind of eh. And so, like, I personally think that part 4 here with the Kaido is by far the weakest part. If you really want that Kaido, then yeah, go for it, but like everything else just like from what I'm looking at right here, the limited pull legends looks pretty good other than a few outliers here, like the Magellan, V2, Vivi Rebecca, and the Kid, but everything else on that's honestly good. And then the super limited pull is honestly the first one that's been like all around good. I say that super limited pull on this part's all of them are good characters. There's not one that sticks out to me that's like they're all good. So that's definitely something there that goes for this part. But going to the super limited step, which is the 8th and the 20th, maybe like if you're looking for Kaido, like 8th, maybe 10th for that limited pull legend, but like that's pushing it for a part like this, in my opinion. Anyway, final part 5 here. We've got the new waifu unit, who I can't believe they're a legend. It blew my mind when I found that out. They're fantastic, and the art is legend worthy, so that, you know, is cool, very cool. I never expected that. And then you got original V1 Odin and the Roger. If you don't have either of these characters, specifically Roger, yeah, you should be trying to get them. However, really gotta be thinking about what other characters you're having, specifically the super exclusive legends. You gotta pick and choose, right? Because Roger's very good. However, if you're missing like the Straw Hats legend, or this Roger Newgate, or even Yamato, you gotta be like thinking about like maybe those are better than V1 Roger now. V1 Roger's still fantastic. Don't get me wrong. Still great legend. I think personally that the V1 Straw Hats are better. I also think that Roger and Newgate, the dual unit, are better than V1 Roger. Yamato and V1 Roger, they're about head and head. You could probably say V1 Roger's a little better than them. But if you're looking at not the debut legends at all, but just other Super SUGOFEST legends, I think you're looking much prettier on parts 2 and parts 3, because you've got the Luffy, the new Luffy, and the new Ace and Yamato, as well as having another top tier super exclusive on each part here, and then another really good one on each part here. And then looking at part 5, yeah, you've got Roger and Odin here, who Odin has a great super evolution, by the way. But is it worth like pulling on this part when you don't get access to the new ones, like the Luffy and the... You gotta pick and choose. In my personal opinion, I don't think that's worth it unless you have those other characters, right? All the other legends here, let's take a look real quick here. Obviously, you got the waifu unit. Bonnie, very good. Ace and Akainu, very good. Quick Christmas, V2 Shiroshi Mancherry, fantastic. One of the better subs in the entire game. Halloween Shanks, you. Luffy Sanji still sees play. Sugar, very good. Snake Man, very good. Mihawk Perona, very good. Arlong Crew, honestly, I think seeing more play as time goes on. They have a very good switch effect. That's just nice to bring for strength teams. That Christmas Chopper is pretty good. specifically expanded him because he gets an expanded captain ability that like is improved. And he's running for Cotton Candy, which is also always good, you know? So, plus he has very good utility. So I still think very good. V1 Kaido's on here. You can run V1 Kaido, you run V1 Kaido. You got that quick beards there. Kind of niche usage. You got Jack there. If you don't have Marco, which it doesn't really look like you're going to have a chance to get Marco unless you pull on his banner, Jack's here, so that's kind of like second place there. Still, I don't have Marco, but Jack, like, still really good. Sabo, Koala, Luffy Law, Garp, and then you just got like all these like But like I said, right there you can see it. You got the treasure map legends here. The treasure map legends are on part 5. They're also on part 1, like I said. But for part 5 specifically, there's a limited pool of 30 legends. Not every legend in the game like part 1 is. So if you're looking specifically for the treasure map units, which I highly suggest, warning here, if you're going into this SUGOFEST to pull for treasure map units, rethink what you're doing. Unless you've done pulls on other parts and you've gotten everything you want, then look at this for the treasure map units specifically. All the other legends, that's different. The treasure map legends, though, are very specific to this part in part 1, but mainly part 5 because there's a limited amount of legends on it. So if you're looking to pull for treasure map units, pull on part 5. That easy. There's a lot of good ones on here. I still really like the treasure map Sanji. Some people think otherwise. I like him. That Croc is unbelievably good. Bon Clay is probably the best. Bon Clay is astronomically strong. So if you don't have Bon Clay, that's definitely something to look at. And the other three that I didn't mention are kind of in the mix, right? But those other 3 I really like. Bon Clay is just awesome. I did so many steps, so many multis to try to get him. I eventually did get him, and he's just so nice to have. Limited pool legends. So you got these 3 here, super exclusives. All of the treasure map legends. That is... Ooh. And then, honestly, everything good here except for the Shanks. And you could say, I guess, Koala. But Koala is still super usable. That limited pull step is pretty good. Especially if you're missing treasure map legends. Like, whew, that's pretty good. And then the super limited pull is unbelievably good. Like, wow. If you're missing all 3 of those treasure map legends, you should be by that. I mean, that's pretty good. If you're missing, like, I'd say half of the characters on that super limited pull, that is really good. Like, that's a good one. I think that's the best limited pull. And out of all the steps, right there, that super limited pull on part 5. But yeah, so that's everything. You're guaranteed each one on part 2, 3, 4, and 5, respectively, with their given banners. On part 1, another thing to mention, the 30th multi just guarantees you a new, like, legend. One of the new 4. Okay? So you can get the waifu unit on that 30th step. I'm pretty darn sure anyways. So that's very important to know. But that's everything. Probably a little long video here. Well, actually, let's go back real quick. Just a quick overview. My thoughts, my opinion. This is all my opinion. For where you should pull. If you're missing, let's just say equal stuff on every part. Right? But specifically looking at the super exclusives, right? Because that's really where we're looking right here. Right? Let me take a look. So, part 1. If you've got a lot of gems. Now, I've got a lot of gems. Right? I've got over 1,000. I'm going to have more, too, because I'm going to buy gems. But if you have a lot of gems, part 1 is maybe a good idea till you get one of the new legends. And that's kind of what I'm thinking I'm going to do. because they're all good. All of the new legends are good, right? Plus you have all the other super exclusive legends on here, right? I kind of think it's a good idea to do pulls on part 1. You got a lot of gems until you get one of the new ones. Now that is subjective because how long is it going to take you to get one of the new legends? Not get like you're going to get guaranteed one until the 30th step. You could probably stop at like 10, right? I think 10 would be a good stopping point if you don't get one of the new legends at around 10. But if you get one of the new legends before that, if you got a legend, like I said, that's maybe the play. But anybody else who doesn't feel like they have a lot of gems, if you personally look at your gem count and you're like, I could have more and I would like to have more, I don't know if this is enough going into this incredible Annie, then you probably shouldn't be pulling on part 1. That's what I'll say. It does have the treasure map legends on here, but they're not rate boosted. If you're looking for the treasure map legends, part 5. That's an easy say for part 5. If you're looking for treasure map legends, part 5. There you go. Also, V1 Roger. Okay. All the other parts, specifically parts 2, 3, and 4. Because those are the parts where you're specifically going for one of those new legends specifically. In my opinion, I think that Ace Yamato is the best one, but only by a little bit compared to Luffy. I think Kaido is actually the worst, but worst is a bad term. He is just 3rd place out of the other 2. Is how I'll say it. If you don't have the V2 Straw Hats, you pull on part 3, end of story, right? Because then you're also going for Ace Yamato, who are fantastic. You should really, that is super important, getting those Straw Hats, in my opinion. If you have the Straw Hats, then it's kind of, what else are you missing with super exclusives? If you have, like I do, all of the super exclusives minus the new legends, right? Which are these right here, right? So this grouping of characters. You have them all, like I do. Then you're looking at specifically what legends you're missing. And just kind of looking at the new legends, which one do you want the most? If you're kind of like me and I'm not missing a lot, there are definitely characters I'm missing, right? But there's not like a ton. Then you're really just picking and choosing what legend you want to get from the new legends. Because the other ones are kind of consolation prizes because they're not super exclusive. They're on standard banners. So that's about all I can say. I personally think that part 2 looks the best, but it's like, it really depends on what you're missing. Part 2 being the best really just comes down to the fact that I think Ace Yamato is the best out of the new ones, and it has the V2 Straw Hats on it. So there's a lot of good units on top of that here. I can say without a doubt, personally, part 4 is the weakest. But yeah, so that's all I think. Looking for treasure map units, part 5. Don't pull on part 1 once you have a lot of gems. And then you kind of just like look and pick and choose which one you like the most. You don't have the V2 Straw Hats, pull on part 3. That's what I'm going to say. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up here. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. If you haven't already checked out my previous video, I have it linked in the description. It has a overview of all the steps in more detail, and everything that came out when the information was first introduced. So check that out if you haven't already. And hit a like button on this video. It helped me out a great deal. Subscribe as well. There's a lot of people checking out my new content that I'm putting out recently. I'm getting a ton of new viewership here, but a lot of people aren't subscribing. So subscribe. That would help out a lot. Get notified when I put out more videos in the future. And we're going to be doing a lot of pulls on the SUGOFEST. So those videos are definitely going up on the channel. And check out the description, like I said. It's got a link to that video as well as a link to my Twitter and my Twitch, where we're live playing Treasure Cruise a good amount of time. So hope to see you there, and I'll check you guys later. Yeah.